Cyberpunk 2077 was quite possibly the biggest disappointment in gaming history. It was highly anticipated by millions, and when it dropped, it was the biggest betrayal in the history of betrayals since Judas betrayed Jesus for the price of an heirloom. Sure, you could give your character a micro, and yeah, it's pretty funny, but it serves no purpose. You can't use it. Well, you can't use the bigger ones either. They spent so much time detailing the meat that they forgot they had to make a fucking game to stick that meat in. This shit is 4K. How do you design it in 4K? This game is a first-person shooter. How are you gonna make customizable shaboing boings in a game where I can't even confirm if I have toes? The point is that this game made so many promises and failed to deliver on all of them. And what hurts the player base the most is that it was released during a time where people had the most free time in human history, and they were scammed into playing this piece of shit. It was so bad that Sony gave out refunds. You know how bad things have to get for Sony to give out refunds? Not even the Towers Fallen could get them to refund my copy of Lords of the Fallen. All I did was download it. Never even ran it. All this money grubbing would make you think that Sony is run by my life insurance company threatened to raise my rates if I made this joke. Things got so bad that Cyberpunk was pulled from the PlayStation Store within days of release, and didn't come back for 6 months. So the question now is this game worth playing in 2025? And if so, how should it be played? Should you have fun and only do the side missions, or speedrun the story in order to scratch it off your backlog? In order to answer that question, we have to know what kind of game Cyberpunk is. It sure as shit is not an RPG, I'll tell you that. Dark Souls is an RPG. Fallout is an RPG. The thing that killed my uncle was an RPG. Cyberpunk masquerades as an RPG when in reality it's an action game that wants to trick you into thinking it's a role-playing game. You think you're role-playing as a cool ninja assassin like when you were a kid, but in reality you're just a loser sitting in front of a screen. Most of the choices in this game aren't choices. Do you side with the blue-haired woman and betray your homeboy, or do you inform your friend about the offer you were made? Do you haggle for money, or are you satisfied with your cut of the heist? Do you meet up with this woman or not? The answer is that it doesn't matter what you choose, because the heist goes tits up, your friend's guts are all over the floor, your fixer blows your brains out on the hotel wall, you don't get paid regardless of the choices you make. All roads lead to hell. It's like walking into a diner and the only thing they sell is fried eggs with a side of fried eggs. Calling Cyberpunk an RPG is like calling GTA an RPG because you can choose what attachments you put on your gun. Cyberpunk 2077 is an action game through and through. An action game that gives you many meaningless choices to make. I didn't realize this till I was halfway through Act 2, at which point Cyberpunk presented me with a difficult decision. How would I play this game? Would I finish the story in 25 hours and never come back to it? Or would I go on a 100-hour long journey composed of junk driving, hard work, self-mutilation, and indiscriminate murder? I chose the latter because the only true way to enjoy life is to do things your own way and on your own terms. So after making a difficult decision, I set out to complete every side mission in the game, and despite only 60 hours passing, it sure felt like a long time. Cyberpunk has a way of immersing you into the world despite not having any strong characters. Say what you want to say, but I don't care about any of these characters. Judy is boring, I forgot her name. Rogue is boring, Panama doesn't have much going for her. Holy shit, what are they feeding you? Well, you know, I take that back. Maybe she does have something going for her. Her side missions are pretty fucking cool compared to Judy. In Panama's mission, you're fighting super soldiers, flying tanks, and robots. In Judy's mission, you watch her bitch about some bullshit. She bitched so much, I didn't want to finish her story. I left that bitch waiting in a van for over 40 hours. Johnny's alright. And Jackie's death was spoiled in the trailer, which is crazy. Like, imagine if we saw Black Widow's lifeless corpse in the endgame trailer. You'd be like, what the fuck, that's a spoiler. So in the end, all this game has going for it is graphics and gameplay. And it was good. The game has a skill tree and body enhancement mechanics, which for the sake of simplicity, we'll call armor. In Dark Souls I can just do a whatever build that's complete garbage, and I can get by using pure skill, which is in a way beautiful. But in Cyberpunk you're required to make tough decisions. You must make an optimal build, because if you don't you're going to have a hard time, which is also pretty neat. My build was a mix of throwing knives, pistols, katanas, and stupid hacks. I used double jump and a lot of armor enhancements, as well as a double heart, a time slow, and a critical hit amplifier. It was essentially a marksman ninja build, and this was a great way to play. The trick is to have decent aim. If you can get past that, you're essentially a god, capable of delivering punishment and giving people contagious testicular cancer. With this build, any mission in the game was a breeze. It was not challenging whatsoever. Capture a man alive and bring him back to his concerned father? Testicular cancer. Kill someone who didn't pay child support? Testicular cancer. I need to capture and take a man to a secret police squad? Testicular torsion. Oh, you want me to keep the cyber cycles alive? Yeah. I think the voices got to him before I did. He was like that when I found him. This build is good for everything. Killing, capturing, killing, stealth, killing, movement, killing, and anything that involves. I've been trying to use snipers since that's what I normally use in Call of Duty. And no. This shit is so ass. There's no silencer and all of the enemies get alerted to the gunshots. The whole point of sniping is picking off enemies while being unseen. You can't do that if you're instantly spotted by the AI. You could be a mile away and they would still spot you regardless of how well hidden you are. After a while of doing side missions, I grew numb to it. The headshots, dismemberments, kidnappings, the hit and runs, they weren't hitting anymore. So I decided to take a break and return in a week's time to complete the few side missions I had left, and finally finish the story. After a week had passed, I was prepared to get back into Cyberpunk. I felt like a crackhead who had just started his 12-step program and was ready to quit, ready to get back to the grind of stealing radios and robbing gas stations. I was excited for the future and what I'd accomplish. And when I loaded in, all I saw was 15 frames per second, shabby graphics, and a glimpse into the past. You would think that I was running the game on a Nintendo Switch too, because everybody knows that piece of shit won't run a game over 20 frames per second. The game was basically unplayable. My control inputs were delayed by 3 business days, the graphics looked terrible. It looked like what I imagined the world looks like when you have an eye cataract. It was an unfortunate and unexpected event. I got 70 hours of fun gameplay in Mass Murder Simulator only to get locked out of it by some divine intervention. I feel like I've been stabbed in the heart. You give me something good and you take it from me. How much more betrayal can I take? The playthrough was over. Everything I'd done, every throat I slit, every mission I completed, every family I destroyed, all of it was for nothing. No, the file may very well have been corrupted, but in the end, I had fun. That's all that matters. I still can't believe Cyberpunk was in production for 10 years, and even 5 years later, I'm still getting day one problems. Honestly, I want to restart the game, but I don't think I have what it takes to get another 60 hours in just to see it get spirited away. It's like they spent a decade edging and accidentally gooned. It's the only way I think anyone can describe the tale of Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red is never going to recover from this. You can call me a schizo, but I'm calling it right now. The Witcher 4 is going to suck. They're going to lose $1 bajillion and lay off a bunch of people with families. I mean, look at this man. This is a CEO. The shareholders got this man stressing. The last time a man was this stressed, he threw himself out of a skyscraper in Manhattan. Look at this other man. He's the face of FromSoft, the best video game developers of our time. He releases the best and hardest games every couple of years and calls you a bitch for complaining about the difficulty. Look at him. He's got such a kind face. He has the face of someone who's got everything under control. You see his face and you think everything is going to be okay. Even if the gaming industry is burning down, he will be there to give us something great. Meanwhile, you look at this guy and you know he sighs every time he walks into his office. Seeing some stupid-ass diversity hire wasting time detailing the useless character creator in a first-person game. Designing dicks for the sake of looking like they're doing work. I know this was like a selling point for Cyberpunk, but it is the equivalent of fucking around in math class when you're supposed to be taking an exam. Look at him. The Witcher 4 is fucked.